As if the dying man, in a final spasm of his fierce and inviolable will, had seized the doorknob, meaning to open the door and re-enter his house. His house, though he had not built it, only renovated it. 8 Schuyler Place, the new Corcoran house. Always in family legend, and in the speech of those who knew the Corcorans, it would be the new house in Maiden Vale where Timothy Patrick Corcoran died on the eve of the first Christmas he would have spent in the house. God striking the man down on his very doorstep, in a section of Union City where you would not expect God to interfere with the affairs of men at all. Timothy Patrick Corcoran had brought his wife Teresa and his 11-year-old son Jerome to live at 8 Schuyler Place in January 1959. Their old house was 1191 Barrow Street in Irish Hill, in southwest Union City, Our Lady of Mercy Parish, the 6th Police Precinct, bounded by Grand Boulevard to the north, and the waterfront of Lake Erie to the west, and the city limits of industrial Shehawken to the south, and Decatur Boulevard and the railroad and stockyards to the east. But even in Irish Hill, in these post-war years, it was rare for a man to die riddled with bullets in the back on his own front step on Christmas Eve. Timothy Patrick Corcoran, born Union City, New York, on November 7, 1923. Died Union City, New York, on December 24, 1959. Timothy Patrick Corcoran, baptized and confirmed and married in the Holy Roman Catholic faith, but deprived at the hour of his death of extreme unction, the last sacrament of the Church, in which in any case he had not believed since childhood. Though, in fact, when the first bullet tore into his body, and he understood that this was death, this was the explosive, fiery death he'd several times escaped in Korea. In the mute astonishment of those quick staccato seconds preceding the obliteration of his consciousness like chalk marks erased from a blackboard, he did pray, "God help me," understanding at that moment for the first time in his life that it does not matter if you believe in God or not, or if there is God or not. For what is passes so swiftly and irrevocably into what was. No human claim can be of the least significance. God erupted and was gone. After the deafening thunder and shattering glass, a terrible silence. And in that silence, rapidly retreating, diminishing, the sound of the invisible car sharply turning the corner at Schuyler Place and careening north on Summit to the Millard-Fillmore Expressway and so out of Union City, as if speeding off the edge of the world, even as the dying man, too, slipped over. Inside the house, a woman began to scream. 2. The child heard the gunshots and the careening car, and he knew at once, but he hadn't heard, hadn't known, just stood there paralyzed. He was 11 years old. Now his life would be rent in two. What you know but can't comprehend. What tears through you, changing you utterly. Thunder? And no lightning? Can there be a thunderstorm in the winter? In falling snow? You wanted to think it came from the sky, not from the street. The fiery, explosive cracks of a gun, too swift to be counted, though he heard each separate and distinct and terrible. And the sudden acceleration of a car out on the street, little more than a shadowy blur glimpsed through the window. He knew and didn't know. He was panting, sweaty inside his clothes. Not standing at a window, but back from it, maybe 3 feet away, having just run into his room, tugging off the heavy cable-knit sweater his grandmother Corcoran had knitted for him that left him breathless, having just bounded up the back stairs, heavy on his heels. His cheeks stinging numb from the cold, and snowflakes melting in his hair and eyelashes, and his nose running, he'd been wiping on his fingers. He heard and he knew, but he hadn't heard and didn't know. He just entered the room that after nearly 12 months did not seem familiar to him, nor comforting, like the new house to which his father had brought them, for which he felt a kind of frightened